Greetings, pen pals. Yeah. I know, yet another PenBBS 456. I'm sorry, I like this pen a lot. There's a lot to talk about with these. This is a new finish material on this pen. There's an upgraded, I did an upgrade on the nib, so I want to talk about both those things. So this is the PenBBS 456 in what they call ground glass, and this is just a phenomenal finish, and it looks just like, of course it's acrylic, it's not ground glass, but it really looks just like ground glass. They also did a matte finish on all the trim, so all the trim is very, very matte finish. The clip, the trim ring here, the cap band, the clip band, etc., all in a highly matte finish, so it kind of complements the very matte finish of the ground glass really nicely. I just really I'm a big fan of this material. It looked great in the pictures when I first saw it, and I went and ordered it, and it did not disappoint me. Really nice new material for the 456. Now, another thing that's new is I also ordered from PenBBS an upgraded nib. So the nib that I ordered was the PenBBS number 8 calligraphy nib, and that is a 14 karat gold nib. So this is my first gold nib from PenBBS. It is not, however, the first PenBBS pen that I have with a gold nib in it. If you watched my video from a few months ago, I have this PenBBS 456 that I put a 14 karat nib from a Pilot Custom 823 in. I have a whole video explaining the circumstances, how I ended up with this extra gold nib from a Custom 823, etc. So I've been using this for a while. I've been quite happy with it. This beautiful PenBBS 456 is a worthy recipient of that Pilot gold nib. And so now I went and got this nib as an upgrade. Now, this 14 karat nib is not available as an upgrade per se. It's not like you can order this pen and you have an option to order with the 14 karat nib. They only sell it with the steel nib like they do all their pens. However, you can buy this gold nib a la carte, so to speak, and just replace the nib yourself, which is exactly what I did. So the nib itself says, has a little lotus logo, says PenBBS Shanghai, China, and then AU 585, which indicates that it is 14 karat gold. It's got the normal PenBBS feed, etc. The nib actually came in an entire nib unit, nib holder, feed, and nib. So I was just simply able to unscrew it and put it in the pen and unscrew the original nib unit. If it didn't, if it was just a loose nib like I had with the Pilot Custom 823 nib, it's a very simple matter to do that as well. And again, I talk about that process in the other video for the upgrade I did to my other 456. So this is the PenBBS 456. It's a vac filler. It very easily can be filled completely using a technique which I've gone through multiple times on the channel. So it fills well. It's really a great pen. I've done countless videos on the details of the 456. I'm really not going to go into it again here because it's really, there's nothing, the pen itself other than the finish, which I think is great, and this matte finish furniture that it has is great. That's the only thing that's different. Other than that, it is just a straight up PenBBS 456, and I don't want to diminish that. It's a fantastic pen. One of my absolute favorites from PenBBS. One of my favorite vac fillers, because again, there are a huge number of vac fillers out there that do not post, and this one posts. TWSBI, take note. That's a really nice feature as well. So let's talk about how this pen writes, because I know how you want to see if it writes well, and I'm going to show you that right now. Okay, folks. So what we have here today is a PenBBS number 456, and this is got, more importantly, a 14 karat number 8 they call calligraphy nib. I just call it a great nib. This nib is really nice and wet. It flows great. It has a bit of bounce to it. I wouldn't call it a flex nib by any means, but it has some nice bounce to it. Really great. if you can see there's definite line variation to be had. Really, really great. Now keep in mind, this is meant for the Asian market, for Chinese calligraphy, etc. So clearly, me writing in my sloppy English cursive is not really doing this justice, but be it as it may, I really, really, really like this pen quite a bit, and it writes, like I said, writes really, really well. That's just as a 14 karat nib goes. It's definitely up there. You can see it has a little bit of a sort of chisel slash architect type of grind to it. I won't really call it an architect grind per se. Here's a downstroke, here's a cross stroke. I mean, the cross stroke is a tiny bit broader than the downstroke, but you know, not enough that I would call it an architect grind. But it is just a really, really nice 14 karat nib. Writes well, flows well, writes great, etc. So I do recommend this nib. It's a great upgrade. As always, the 456 is a pen that I highly recommend. If you want to get into vac fillers, if you've never had one, a lot of people turn people towards TWSBI for their first vac filler. Those are great pens. They do not post. I have had cracking problems on at least one TWSBI vac filler. I have not had cracking problems on any of my PenBBS pens, and I have quite a few of them. So be that as it may. TWSBI makes a very nice pen, no doubt about it. Nice nibs, great steel nibs, etc. PenBBS pens are slightly less expensive, because depending on where in the world you live, but in general they're slightly less expensive. You certainly have a much greater variety of finishes, etc. And I highly recommend it. Another thing that I would say, if you have a PenBBS 456, if you have one or more of these, get the PenBBS parts pack. All the replacement gaskets, O-rings, and seals and feeds are in the parts pack. It's a fairly inexpensive thing. All the replacement parts you would ever need, with the exception of nibs, are in the parts pack. So it's really a great deal. Anyway, oh, and if you want to know how to completely disassemble this pen, I have a video again that I did a few months ago that shows you how to completely do a complete strip down of this PenBBS 456. So that's, again, something I would refer you to. So anyway, that's about all I have to say about this pen. Let's talk about this ink now for a minute, shall we? All right, this is a PenBBS ink, which, like all PenBBS inks, it also has a number. So this is PenBBS 384, which is Blueberry, which is a dark purple with sheen. Dark purple with sheen, you say? We've seen that before. Yes, we have. Colorverse Pillars of Creation is a dark purple with a sheen. This is more of a purple purple. Colorverse Pillars of Creation is more of an eggplant purple. Closer to PenBBS Blueberry is Diamine Purple Rain. That is definitely bluer, and it also has less sheen. So dark purple ink with sheen, PenBBS 384 Blueberry. Very nice ink indeed. Well, I think that'll just about do it for this episode. I certainly hope you enjoyed watching it, because I sure enjoyed making it for you folks. As always, if you could please like, comment, share, and subscribe, I would very much appreciate those things. But until we see each other again, have a great day. Bye-bye.